It's the X-Men versus the Sentinels in the 59th issue of Tommy Reads X-Men. Let's roll that intro. Tommy Reads X-Men. Tommy Reads X-Men. It's cool. What's going on? It's your boy back at you again with another Tommy Reads X-Men. Today, we're looking at X-Men number 59 from August 1969, written by Roy Thomas with art by Neil Adams. This one is called Do or Die, baby! Now, first off, before we even start recapping the issue, one thing that they did here that they haven't done before is actually put at the top a little panel that lets you know what's going on in the story previously. Now, like I said beforehand, you just kind of had to know what was going on in the story or you'd be lost. But I definitely like that they do a little recap and then they continue to do so from then on, I think. Alright, our story kicks off with Scott, Jean, Hank infiltrating the Sentinel base. At this point, Bobby and Angel are kidnapped along with Havoc, Polaris, and a few other mutants as the Sentinels have turned on their boss? I don't know, I guess Larry Trask? He's the son of Bolivar Trask who created the Sentinels. Sentinels do what Sentinels do. They done turned on him because they found out, cliffhanger for the last issue, that he is a mutant. What? And they even go into a little bit about Larry Trask and his powers and all that. Apparently his dad gave him this amulet that suppressed his mutant power and wiped it from his memory. I mean, that's a lot for a piece of bling to do, you know what I'm saying? He has the power, and he learns this later, but they describe it to us ahead of time, that he can predict the future. He actually, when he was a child, predicted the hour and time of his mother's death. How he ain't a suspect for that, I don't know. So basically, Trask gets gassed and thrown in the containment units that they're keeping the mutants, but the Sentinels do this to him. And from there, y'all, the Sentinels go on a kidnapping mutant spree. They get Quicksilver, they get the Scarlet Witch and Toad, they get Mastermind, they get Eunice the Untouchable, who is untouchable, but they managed to grab him. They get Blob, just a whole bunch of people rounded up. Cut to Jean and Scott and Hank, and they done broke into the Sentinel compound, and they see that they've kidnapped Wanda, Pietro, and Toad, and Scott's like, oh no, they got my best friend? Because they secret best friends, in case y'all didn't know. Quicksilver and Cyclops hang out all the time. We just don't see it in the comics. They're best friends. So Scott ain't playing around. He sees that his best friend Pietro is kidnapped, so he goes full on, full power, back up, because I'm about to let loose Optic Blast! He blows up an entire Sentinel, and it was dope. Now, somebody gets the bright idea, don't know if it's Hank, Jean, Scott, whoever, that, oh, well, we freed y'all, Toad, Wanda, Quicksilver, but let's switch costumes, because this will throw off the Sentinels for some reason. I guess the Sentinels are programmed to recognize them and know their powers and stuff, so that's what they do. Cut to Trask, who's realizing he has the power to see the future, which doesn't play into anything later on in the issue. It's not like he sees something coming or whatever and prevents it. Nah, he just can see in the future, but he can't see into this future right there. Why he didn't learn his power when we learned it, a few pages back, and he had to go and discover it for himself, and we had to reiterate this. Reasons. So, the X-Men in the switch costumes started attacking the Sentinels, and the Sentinels are totally thrown off by this because they thought, oh, this dude about to run fast, but nah, he optic blasted fools. Even though, I don't remember Quicksilver wearing those kind of glasses or visor. Yeah, Jean and Wanda are both redheads, but I mean, are they the same height? They look alike. I mean, come on, Sentinels, you could do better than this. Have some face recognition scanning or something. So the X-Men are doing pretty good in that battle. Cut to the Judge. Now, who's the Judge, you ask? Well, you should have watched from the last Tommy Reads X-Men, but I'm going to fill you in because your boy's nice like that. The Judge was someone who was working with Trask, and, he thought the X-Men were going to be rounded up and given a trial and blah, 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 and it's not some kind of weird witch hunt, which was what Trask was going for. So he's been having the entire issue a crisis of faith. Every time you cut to him, he's like, oh. The main thing that the Judge does is he decides, I need to help out the guys who are fighting the Sentinels. I'm assuming they're the X-Men, even though they're dressed a little weird. Like the guy who looks like Beast is dressed like Toad. What he ends up doing is freeing Havoc, so Havoc can help them out in the battle. The Judge, after having this crisis of faith, after freeing Havoc so he could help the X-Men, decides, I can do a little bit more. Now, a Sentinel's sneaking up on Cyclops, getting ready to shoot him. How a big-ass robot like that can sneak up on a dude without him noticing? Wouldn't he be like, zzz, zzz, zzz? Why would he be able to sneak up on him? Anyway, besides the point, he shoots to Cyclops, but the Judge jumps in front of him, severely injuring himself, and that freaks the Sentinels out. Sentinels' protocol is to take care of humans and get rid of the mutant threat, but them harming a human messed with their protocol, so they're all confused. I'm so confused. That's what robots sound like. Didn't you know? Now, Scott, instead of using brute force like he'd been doing, decides, I'm going to use logic to confuse the Sentinels. And if they broke their protocol and their mission is no longer valid, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the Sentinels take off and for some reason decide to fly into the sun. Havoc, who helped out a little bit in his weird new costume, which I think is cool because this is his classic costume, but he's like, oh, I can't control my powers. And then there's going to be a big explosion because his powers, you can't control them. Because, he goes in between, oh, I'm going to save the day with my powers, and then I can't control my powers. This boy needs some training. Ba-boom! Big explosion. Havoc's hurt. The X-Men get the temporary W, but they need to tend to Scott's brother, Alex. Cut to some dude named Dr. Lycos. And he's seen there, we don't see him. He's like Dr. Claw. We only see the back of him. That was the Spectre Gadget reference for those of you who don't know. It's like Dr. Claw. We only see the back of him. And he seems to be torturing someone, but he gets a call, and he's like, Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to know Charles Xavier. That's Papa Chuck, y'all. But, yeah, I know him. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can probably help your brother. This is a phone, by the way. It's old school. Yeah, bring him on by. And then he's, torturing some dude, and we're going to find out what's up with that in the next issue, because that's the end of issue. Wasn't no backup anymore, so let me get you my final thoughts. All right, y'all. This was about an 8 out of 10, and I'm going to tell you why. It was action-packed. The artwork was fantastic, and I expect nothing less from Neil Adams. He was a great Batman artist. He did a lot of stuff for Marvel, too. Just, I like his art. And his action, the way he had the characters posing, when they're kicking or jumping or something like that, really sold the action in the issue. I really enjoyed it. There was a ton of cameos. And, from the X universe, which is cool. No Magneto, unfortunately, in this one, but, we'll save Mags for another day. And the cliffhanger, that kept me interested for next issue, like they've been doing. They've been really good with the cliffhangers in the last few issues. Who's Dr. Lycos? Why was he torturing some dude? Why does Papa Chuck only hang out with the worst people? Everybody that's a colleague of Charles got something going on, But we'll check that out in the next Tommy Reads X-Men. Until then, if you like what you see or are mildly entertained, please like and subscribe down here, hit that bell notification somewhere in the corner, and do your boy a solid. Help spread the word about the Tommy Love Stuff channel, YouTube's best kept secret. We got a lot of great stuff on the channel, more comic book reviews, we got some food reviews. Check out our trip to Disneyland recently and the food poisoning that I got from it, and a lot of other things, toys, pop culture. This is the channel for you. Thank you for letting me entertain you, and we'll be back with another Tommy Reads X-Men pretty soon. Later. Notification in the corner. Do your boy a solid. Help spread the word about the Tommy Love Stuff channel. That one hurt. And it's YouTube's